Namaste, Luca.
Namaste, Mayoori.
So nice to have you back here.
Thank you. Nice to be with you again.
Thank you. So today we are going to share information about our upcoming workshops in Goa in the month of November. So that is why we have got together again to announce the dates. Okay. So
Yes.
without too much of further ado, let's declare the dates. The first date, the first workshop is going to happen on November 15th, 16th, and 17th. Friday,
Yes.
Saturday, and Sunday. Am I right?
Yes.
So, and the second workshop, would you like to tell the dates?
And the second workshop is going to be 29, 30, and 4th December.
Right. So these three dates are going to be like workshop 1 and workshop 2. And we're going to use certain modules where we're going to use our own expertise, our own experience put together. But largely, Luca will conduct almost about 4 different methodologies that he stands for. And I'm going to ask him his questions about what are these methodologies. And then I will tell you all about what methodologies I will hold and lead. So, together we will be creating a space in these 3 days, which will include not just this, but also our presence, which goes beyond what we're going to explain about the methodologies per se, and ceremony. What is that ceremony? We're going to know very briefly in a moment. So, Luke, can you please explain the 4 techniques per se, which you're going to lead and teach?
Yes. So we will start probably, I don't know the sequence, but I guess we will probably start with a session of holotropic breathwork. The base, let's say that the base is holotropic breathwork, but I would prefer to call it shamanic breathwork because actually, for me, the presence of the teacher is as much as important as the technique itself. And because I'm not coming from an academic world, I'm coming more from a spiritual and shamanic world. So this is what I put in the breath work. So this is my presence, my vibration, my frequency that is going to be in the holotropic breath work.
And I must add that that is very precious, very incomparably beautiful. I have experienced this firsthand many times. I've also assisted several workshops of breathwork of Luca. It's it's not comparable with anything which comes across as a technique. It's
Thank
amazing.
you.
It's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to co-lead this retreat with you.
And then honestly, that's the reason why, though I am teaching breathwork since maybe 20 years, I haven't done yet an online session.
Yes.
Because for me, present is important. You know, to be there. Yeah, probably there are people, I'm sure there are people that they can share the presence even online. But for me, just to be there, you know, the contact of the aura of the people, you
Hmm.
know, that is important.
And it's an intense module. It's a very intense experience.
Yeah, yeah.
And what else, Luke?
And then there will be a shamanic journey.
Mm-hmm.
Shamanic journey is the way to get in touch with your spirit guides. And actually, there are different kind of shamanic journey. Sometimes you get in touch with your animal spirits. Sometimes you can get in touch with your spirit guides. They might be what you call guardian angels, but I don't put any limits in this, because actually what is coming up in a shamanic journey is very individual. So I leave it quite open.
Amazing.
And then, of course, there is going to be integration after the shamanic journey and the shamanic breathwork, because the shamanic breathwork is going to be very intense. So it's going to be needing integration and sharing. And for the sharing, we're going to use a tool that is called the talking stick circle, that is coming from the Native American. And then is going to come the sweat lodge, that is one of the most sacred ceremony for Native American.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you want to explain what sweat lodge is actually?
A sweat lodge, okay. Technically, the sweat lodge is a kind of dome that is made with a frame of wood, and is covered, once upon the time was covered with the animal skin. Now it's covered with the blankets. There are stones that are warm up outside on a fire. And then these stones, they will be brought inside the sweat lodge, this dome. And we will close the door. We will be in the dark. And these stones, they will start to make the dome warmer and warmer. I will pour water on the stones, and it's gonna be hot and humid. And then we're gonna pray, we're gonna sing, we're gonna share, and it's gonna be 4 rounds. Every round is devoted to a different power, to a different direction.
Yes, amazing. I mean, the words don't justify the experience. It's one of my favorite ceremonies to feel that what is it like going back into the womb of the mother and recalibrate yourself. There are things that we cannot say in even words, we cannot share with people. Goes beyond the techniques. You just have to surrender and release, and that's what happens there. So
yeah, it's a ceremony. It's one of the most sacred ceremony, and it is a prayer, but it's also something deeper, because we're calling the spirits. And so actually we are working together with the spirits of our direction.
Absolutely. So this is where the mystical comes into practical application for those who are ready to plunge into the journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So
and you, now what you are doing?
yeah. So what I will be leading is first is called as the sound body. We are going to get in touch with our sound body. Then I'm going to make certain invocations through which I will make the presence of the mantras, which are called the sound vibrations, which have their own power, which have their own unique energy signatures, to start interacting with us. So it goes very deep at a very fundamental level of our presence, our makeup as a presence altogether, goes across physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual essence. So we're going to experience how is it to get in touch with the sound body. What happens when we utter any sound? What is the responsibility that brings us back to? And how can we learn the basic aspects and energies of some of the sounds of the signatures of the mantras? Then we will move into the second practice, which is Lightworker practice, which is a combination of what is known as pranic healing, Reiki, energy healing, how do I say, from the time immemorial, it has come into effect. When we put hand into contact with another hand, there is transmission of energy. So we go back to the principles of what already is happening inside our body, from our body to the environment outside. And how do we channel this energy for healing? So I will be teaching few colors. What do they do? And how do we use that for our healing? That is the second practice.
Wow.
Yeah. And it corresponds with something like this in the background. What's happening? So the last aspect, the third aspect, is going to be about vocal toning. Because it's a short workshop, I don't have so much of time to give a lot of knowledge on the mantra healing because it's vast, very vast. So vocal toning is actually a practical integration for people to use their own sound to heal and to self-soothe. For example, if I just use one syllable, ah and oo, and I make a transition between the two. Ooh. 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 So this can happen in presence of some anchor, which can be sound singing bowls, which can be an instrument called as tanpura, or you can listen to any sound which makes itself as a bass. And holding that as a bass, you use your voice to reach different frequencies. And you can really access even memories across timelines, dimensions. And it's extremely helpful for people to somatically release a lot of emotions. Because understanding is one aspect, but they're stuck in our body at different places for longer durations than we can even willingly accommodate them. But we don't know how to squeeze them out. So it's not like you do a lymphatic massage and they go away. Yes, through that also it circulates. But voice is I feel it's one of the most important aspects of our presence, and we approach this with that kind of sacredness. It opens the door, the dimension of the fundamental principle of life, of cosmos itself. So we will hopefully be able to glean aspects of this, put across the modules from my side. And as Luca mentioned, his modules, we're going to bring these two together. They may appear, I'm going to take the liberty, Luke, to say this.
Yeah.
That these methodologies look to someone who's not initiated very complex. Yeah, but they're very simple. And the power of these techniques is because they're so simple. But at the same time, having said that, we approach this with a certain frequency, which is what makes this workshop very, very unique. You may or you may not come across the content of what we're going to share anywhere else, but how we are going to get it from us is the differentiator of our workshop. We have a very unique understanding, which we would love to share when you come, if you feel resonated with our approach of healing. You will understand the world of healing, our presence, our role, our responsibility, and what can we do to journey in this path with love, light, and authenticity. Yeah.
Yes. And
Before,
being there,
sorry.
and being there, you will realize that it's not so something to understand, something to study, but it's something to integrate inside yourself.
Yes.
So this is something really experiential. It's not something theoric. It's something that then you can practice in your life, in your daily life,
Yeah.
in any circumstances.
Yes.
For
So,
me, spirituality, it's something that you need to apply in your daily life. Otherwise, it's works.
right, right. I mean, it should also bring back some levels of realization, which keeps changing, yeah, from time to time. And as Luca said, see, it's not just theory. Of course, even in mantra yoga, for example, I'm still studying Veda mantras. And I think it's going to take me a couple of years, if not a decade or more. But the beauty of those disciplines is they are not meant for short term period gains, you know. So it's not like, okay, you apply this, you'll get some kind of a short term benefit. It's not for that. So it's for a very different purpose, which leads you to refine your essence, your footprint in on the planet, as long as you are alive. And even when you leave with a certain understanding, you leave with certain knowing, because we cannot postpone the talk of death, we cannot postpone the talk of that whatever we have is going to be gone one day. Yeah. So it all has to make sense for all types of perspectives that are going to appear invariably in human life. So I would like to say that what we're bringing is from the depths of our experience, from the depths of our sincerity, and we would love to have people sign up for this. And before I forget to announce the last detail, that there will be a 7-day journey of darkness retreat and sweat lodge as a ceremony. Darkness retreat, I will ask Luca to explain briefly about it, what happens in that, and the dates for which are not certain yet, because we are looking for the infrastructure which is going to take care of people in the right fashion. So till that time, allow us some time to put that together, but it will happen somewhere in between these two dates, one weekend and another weekend sandwiched between the two. We're going to announce the 6 to 7 days darkness retreat, and it's very, very unique, extremely potent journey filled with lots of insights, lots of release, lots of realizations. I'm just going to ask Luca, what happens in darkness retreat?
So what's happened in the darkness retreat is that we give a lot of power to our sight. Most of our input, they come from our eyes. For example, now, if there wouldn't be this picture of us, this video of us, you wouldn't get so much. You are in front of the computer, you're always looking at something. You meet somebody, the first impression that you have from the other person is through the look. And most of the objects that we buy because of the look. So we give so much importance to the outside, to the appearance of things. So once we are in the dark, we cannot rely anymore on our sight. So we have to find another way to connect with the world outside. And this also brings you to connect deeper with the inside world, and also to rely on some other senses. So, for example, when you feel the other person and you cannot see the other person, you have to rely more on what I would say intuition, other kind of feelings that is not the look, is not the appearance, is not what is coming out from your sight. And this brings you in a more deeper world in relation with the outside and in relation with yourself. Because after a few days that you are there in the dark and you don't see, you are obliged to go deeper and deeper. And the other thing also that's very important is that we always give a kind of negative
connotation.
Yes, connotation and judgment to darkness. The light is God and the darkness, is evil. But this kind of darkness is different, is not the absence of spiritual light, it's not the absence of love, it's only the absence of solar light, So this also forces us to look for another kind of light. And we have been in the darkness for 9 months before we come out from the womb of our mother. And so this darkness is not evil. This darkness is a protection. This darkness is a cocoon. So after these days, you also will have a different relationship with darkness. I know many people that are afraid of dark. They even sleep in the night with the
lights on.
With the light. Yeah. In this way, you will start to understand that this darkness is not the darkness that you have to be afraid of. The darkness that you have to be afraid of is the darkness of your soul. And with this darkness retreat, instead, you will find more and more light inside yourself.
It's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. And also, I think there is a certain particular enzyme or a particular secretion that happens in the brain, DMT, which happens only in the dark, right?
Yes. It helps also to open up your third eye.
So I think I would like to say that it would at least, if not the third eye, at least it will give a perspective. It gives a different way of looking at things from Ajna Chakra, which is the higher vision, because naturally we also get an ability to start seeing in the dark eventually, but it's not like how we see with light, but there is a different type of visibility. So it's a very wonderful experience. Thank you, Luke, for explaining that so beautifully. So that brings us to the end of the session. And we will talk more about this darkness retreat in the details that we will mention and put it out for people to book. So now the critical part, which is to have the bookings open. At the moment, for those of you who are in India, you can book directly with me. You can get in touch with my Instagram handle, where my official WhatsApp number will be there. You can contact me. And for those who are abroad, you can still contact me. There is WeTransfer. Sorry, not WeTransfer. What am I saying? There is not PayPal. There is Wise, TransferWise.
Right.
Yeah. So through Wise, you can transfer the amount directly to me or to Luca, and we will be able to take the confirmation. And one more thing is, for the darkness retreat, we would like to make it very selective, because It's quite an intense experience. So you're free to apply. We would like to have a chat or a conversation prior to see if you're able to handle it, is only when the application will be approved. Am I right?
Yes. The thing about the darkness retreat, it also work chemically, because actually the pineal glands, it is enhanced when we are in the dark. So it, I mean, if you want to say that the third eyes is the pineal gland, then darkness retreat, it's something that will enhance your pineal gland.
Yes, yes. So we will be very much looking forward to having people experience and co-journey on this path. The details will be out there in terms of the posters and on the website, made available very, very soon. And we will try and have one more live conversation, which is nearer to the dates. But till then, all the information is there in this chat, as well as another recording. You can get your hands on that. These two recordings, you can revisit it as many times as possible and make up your mind. We are looking forward to having you in November and the beginning of December. With
So
that,
the link for this video, they will find it on your Instagram and my Instagram.
yes,
Facebook, YouTube.
and on YouTube. YouTube is at the rate of Mantra Dhwani, and Luca, your YouTube as well.
Yeah, Prem Luca Firewolf.
Yes. So, all right, with that, we take leave of you. Thank you very much, Luca. It was a pleasure,
Mayoori.
as always. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.